Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
I watch Houston play, and they got freaking dogs. They just got dog. They have competitive dudes that just like, I want to take the basketball from you, and then I want to shove it right up your, you know what? Like they got dogs. And when you played at X and when you coached at X, you had a high percentage of dogs, right? And some of that can be taught, right? It's one of the things that we miss out on college basketball, the transfers. Like it's really hard to get guys to buy into culture and really absorb it when they're there for like 6 months. But my question's more in recruiting. Like when you see kids play in an AAU event, um, or maybe, yeah, AAU event, because it's easier when it's on college, it's on tape, you talk to their coach and everything. How do you know if, like, because you fall in love with the effort and the intensity, but like there's still like, you got to have a skill element to it. You got to be able to play in the ACC or in the Big East. How do you balance that in your head when you're watching the kid? You're like, I love him, he's a dog, but can he be a dog at our level? Like that's my question. How do you
Man,
evaluate
it's
that?
hard. It's hard, man. It's really hard. I think you got to ask as many questions to as many people that are around the kid. I think you got to get your eyes on him as much as you possibly can. See him in his best moments, see him in his lowest moments, and then you've got to make a judgment call. And so often, recruiting gets tied in around the how many stars a kid has, Doug, and you know that. And there's pressure on coaches to make sure their fan base is excited about who's coming in, but sometimes guys come in and nobody knows who they are, and those become your dogs. And it's a crapshoot. I mean, kids play enough that you get to see them, but it's not just about their playing ability. It's about their competitiveness. It's about when stuff doesn't go their way. It's about assimilating themselves into a team and to a culture, and I think that's obviously what Kelvin does at a very high level. When those guys walk in the door, he's going to put the bubble on top of the rim, and they're going to shoot an offensive rebound until 2.5, 3 hours of practice is over. But it gets ingrained in those guys. I mean, you can't just get dogs and expect them to go out there and win games with that type of culture. You have to practice it. You've got to breathe it, and certain coaches do it better than others, man.
I want to follow up on that because I think if there is a concern for me with Houston, and I want to put this into context for the people that yell at me about this stuff. Houston's the top 5 team in college basketball. We're picking nits here. Okay. We're talking about the difference between them and the other 4 teams in the top 5. But if I have a concern, it's that they can kind of get into this tendency where they rely a little bit too much on that toughness and on that defense, where they say,
question.
okay, you know what? Sometimes we're not going to worry about whether or not we got shot makers or we can run some stuff because we'll just get enough offense off of turnovers and off of offensive rebounds. And I feel like that's a little bit a risky proposition when you are dealing with other teams at the highest level of the sport that are going to have that same level of athlete to a point. Does that make sense? Like that's kind of my one hesitation with going all in with Houston, with the context that I know that they've won like 33 games the last 5 years. In the last 4 tournaments, we're talking Sweet 16, Final Four, Elite 8, Sweet 16, right? They're very, very good. I kind of feel like there's a little bit of a ceiling.
Yeah, but every style has its kryptonite, right? Every superhero has its kryptonite, right? Those teams that shoot 30, 40 threes a game, there are games in which you go 5 for 30, right? Teams that press, there are times with the reason nobody presses is because there's going to be teams that throw it up, shoot a 3, and make you look really, really bad. Wisconsin, when they went to back-to-back Final Fours, right? They played pack line, and they played kind of level of the ball and flat hedges, and they made you make jump shots. Well, they lost to Duke in the Final Four because Duke jumped up and made jump shots. So my point is there's a weakness to just about every style. And I understand what you're saying, Rob. You're not wrong. There are games in which you're like, damn, this is because they don't run a ton on offense. There's not a go watch the scatter report. There's not a bunch. It's just like, hey, they run a couple sets. They got really good players. Then the real fight starts when they shoot the ball, right? And then, of course, when you're on offense, holy cow, that went in and one. When you go all in and you're just going to defend and rebound, that's a tough. There's going to be one night in 10 that it's bad. When they got blown out by who was it? Iowa State on the road. They just couldn't score. You're going to have nights like that, but I would say that if you look metrics wise, it's almost always you get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament when you're one of the elite defensive teams. Almost never get upset early. Now it does sometimes limit their ceiling in getting to the Final Four because NCAA tournament games are really tightly officiated. But I would say it's just like superheroes. Everybody has their fatal flaw.
All right, let's talk about the top of the Big 12. Go ahead, Mac. Go ahead. Finish up.
I'll just say real quickly, one of the things that makes their defense, their rebounding so elite is because they're not a jack of all trades, master of none. They're not also trying to be great at out executing you. They're also not trying to be great on the fast break and trying to spread you out. I think they're fortunate, and then they got a guy like Jamal Shead that can go one-on-one and create his own shot. And with that, they don't have to necessarily be an elite offensive team, but their identity is going to be what it is, and it's going to be an elite identity because they know who they are, and they practice that way, and they drill it, and they drill it, and they drill it.
I mean, look, this last possession, the game is 70-all, okay, 70-all, and they're face guarding LJ Cryer. Right? So you're taking him completely out of the play. And Jamal Shead kind of goes one-on-one. Might have pushed off. I like that the official swallowed the whistle.
Might have.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Tyrese Hunter took a dive. Are we really going to change a game like that on a dive? Just stand up. Yeah. Anyway, misses the shot. But they get an offensive rebound, kick it out, throw it inside, get a layup, and now they're up 2 points. I used to watch Cincinnati for years. What are they running? Who cares? Their offense is throw it up and then go fight for it. That's it. And have tougher dudes and then kick it out and shoot a three. And then if you miss it, do it again. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's not a style that I think I would excel in. I like the defense and the fight, but there's a lot of mud there on offense. But it works.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.